traverse on into this story that's probably a better one. It goes, this is also in the summertime, but it's about June, end of June, beginning of July. I don't remember. I can't remember exactly the monthing, but I remember it hot. And I was 15 years old, and I was working for a man named Teddy Johnson. If you know anything at all about cutting horses, you know the name Teddy Johnson. He's like 3, 4, 5-time world champion. Trainer, world champion trainer. The horses are the champions. I mean, the horses are the real athletes. But, so, we went to a show in Munster, Texas, and, you know, he had me lined out. This is going to be my first showing, and had me set up on a horse named Doc Coyote Joe. Good horse. Good old horse. Yeah, he was just a sorrel gelding quarter horse. Had some fine breeding in him, though. But, so I entered up into the $6,500 novice. And, I read the roster. And now, if you've ever heard of this man, you're 2 for 2. His name is Doug Supernaw. In the mid-90s, he was a country star. I wouldn't say superstar, but he had a couple good songs. I Don't Call Him Daddy, The Note, She Never Looks Back, you know, A Lady's a Lot Like a Reno, and then he covered You Never Call Me By My Name. These are all songs that were played on the radio. This man was on the roster, set to compete against me. Now, I'm sitting there calculating that this man's got a couple $1 million, you know, and you see him pull in with the rig that costs more than every house I've ever lived in. And so he shows up. Then this girl I'm dating, you know, she runs up there, oh, hi, and takes her hat off, gets her to sign his autograph on him. And I'm just standing over here like this, you know, and she's all like, ain't you gonna get his autograph? And I said, no, this guy's the enemy. We are to meet on the field of battle, so to speak. And sure enough, it plays out. This man gets 4th place. Can you believe it? He gets a 71.5. Now, I don't know what you know about cutting horse business, but 71.5 is a dang good score. Especially somebody like me that's only been in practice arenas, but here I stand, here I go. I enter the ring, boom, my 2.5 minutes are up. I'm out. Score 72.5. Bam, good enough for second. Got the buckle. No, there was another one. There was another competition after that called Never Won a Buckle. I entered in that, and apparently he had never won a buckle in the cutting horse game either. He entered it. I scored a 72.5 again on the same horse. On the same horse, same score. He scored a 72. I beat Doug Supernaw and all his money. And then I went up and introduced myself to him. Stuck the old hand out there and said, I'm Jack Reed. He said, I know who you are.